So I hope you can hear me. I'm not using a microphone. Um, this is a quickie to tie up loose ends. Um, and I checked and I could hear myself fine. So I hope you can too. And this is just the loose ends of what I was going through in my last videos with the intrusive thoughts. Um, well, what went on from there was just a day or two after um, last video was um, a depression, not a bad one. I was actually relieved for it to arrive because it signaled a slowing down and almost completely stopping the intrusive thoughts and the feelings that go with those thoughts. Um, and so I am now throughout the day bebopping back and forth from normal to irritable. It really just is depending on what's happening with me at that moment. Um, I just get that way sometimes. I think that's probably my normal personality. Um, so, so I'm glad the tension and the tapping of the head, which um, and I can focus and I'm not struggling. So uh, that's how it played out. Uh, I'm taking a while on my next video because I have it all. I have my notes already. It took me a while. My next video, and I also had to figure out how to renew my subscription to the software I use when I want to make a video that has effects and stuff and photos and audio and stuff like that. Um, it's a once a year thing and it can be complicated and confusing for you to anyway. I got it figured out. So I'm going to be uploading that soon. And that one is going to be different. It's not going to have to do with um, mental health per se. Um, it's not going to be about things I normally talk about, but um, it's not about bipolar or social anxiety or anxiety of any kind. It's just something that I recently discovered about myself that I didn't know it was actually a thing that had a name, and I thought I was just a freak. And, but I figured out that there's actually a grouping of this, and so it actually does relate to the intrusive thoughts a bit, and made me feel like a million times better. And I think that's partially why I suddenly slipped out. I think it definitely helped. Um, so it's going to be about, it's not going to be about sex. It's going to be about sexuality and orientation, um, things like that. So it probably will be a 17 and over. Not that I'm going to talk about anything raunchy, I just don't want it to risk it being taken down, especially since I'm going to be kind of putting myself out there. I want it to go smoothly, and um, and I really wanted to do it because normally it's something I would keep to myself, but when I did research, whether written or on YouTube or anywhere, it it just gets like a little footnote, and you just don't get someone, you just don't see anyone or read anyone being very specific um, about it. So I'm gonna leave you there in suspense, and then it will be back to my usual stuff. Um, yeah, so usually every time I make a video, I do a like little report on my life that means nothing. So if you don't want to hear it, you can stop here. But here goes. I used a different hair color for my pink. You can't tell how it's like a fuchsia pink, and I hate it. I really hate it. And my mom did it, and she didn't get my roots. So I have a plan. So my hair may be some freaky color if it doesn't work out. Um, so there's that. Everybody else says it looks cool. Um, yeah, I prefer softer tones. um, and my finger, there is an actual name for the infection I have in my finger. It's around the cuticle, on the outside of the cuticle area, the skin there. And that's where the bacteria gets in. It slides under there. And I'm almost finished with a second kind of antibiotic, and it's only getting worse. It's the redness is coming down further. You can't see it with this stupid band-aid on. Coming further down my finger, it hurts like, especially in the cold. It burns and itches and throbs. It's red. Um, and so I'm a little, it's swollen, and it's not like stuff coming out or anything. I just wear this cushion band-aid because if it just like barely brushes against something, it hurts so bad. I get these stabbing, sharp pains. I had of all things, whose stupid little finger I had an x-ray of. Now, how much is that going to cost me? And it's been about 6 weeks now. And, and I'm worried because it's resistant to antibiotics. So, we're talking MRSA, or I don't know. What are they going to do to keep it from spreading, take my hand off? And I can't afford it. I had to get special, I didn't have to get a CT scan. I got a CT scan. of my abdomen. It was unnecessary, and we're not going to go into that. I think I've been into that. And I had to get financial aid to help pay for that. And I had an x-ray of this finger to make sure there was no necrosis and bone damage. And which is legitimate. And but I'm like, if we start talking about IV antibiotics or something, um, that's home health. I can't afford that. But I am telling you, it hurts so bad. Um, and fortunately, I don't have a lot of people get pus and ugh. And I would hate to be like at a client's house and just it's just disgusting to think about. Um, and one last update. Uh, Dog training is going really well. Um, I am getting a lot of referrals. I live in a town surrounded by other little towns in a rural area, and word of mouth is, if you get that momentum, that's whatever business you're in, that's what's going to get you customers. But I also have 3 different vets giving out my information for dog training, and the pet store slash groomer that I use. And I put their cards in my folders that I give to clients. So, um, so I've been getting referrals, and everyone that gets a referral tells me, yeah, so and so had nothing but great things to say about you. So I'm starting to get a big head. But things have gone full circle because long before I even worked at the animal shelter, I dreamed of being a dog trainer. So I have fulfilled my destiny. um, so uh, overall, after the in spite of the intrusive thought period I had, um, it wasn't as severe as I've had in the past. Uh, Things have been going well. So look out for my video that's coming up, and that um, that I just described. And so I'm going to go do my bedtime routine. See ya.